Hello everyone, welcome back to Analytics Kida. So today in this SQL interview preparation video, we will try to discuss one of the interview questions that is what is DDL, DML and all, right? And we will try to also discuss other SQL concept that falls under this question category. And as you know, we started this series to cover all the SQL concepts starting from the basic level to the advanced level through the interview questions that are asked in the top companies, right? So without wasting any time, let's go to the question first. Okay. So our first question is, what is DDL, TML, and DQL? In interview, generally the interviewer doesn't ask question like this, what is DDL, TML, DQL. They'll ask you like, uh, what are the different command categories are there in SQL, right? So DDL, DML, DQL are nothing but these are the main command categories in SQL, right? And apart from DDL, DML, DQL, there are other two main command categories such as DQL and TCL, right? So we won't talk about DQL and TCL because it is not necessary for now. We will only focus on DDL, TML, and DQL. And in today's video, we will talk only about DDL because it holds so many concepts that need to be clarified before we move forward, right? So, and also we will try to cover those basic concepts that falls under DDL, right? And also we will try to know how to implement practically those concepts, those basic concepts, right? Let's move ahead. So, as I have mentioned, DDL, DML, DQL, these are the main command categories that falls under SQL. So first there are DDL, DML, DQL, DCL, TCL, right? As I have already mentioned it. Let's talk about DDL. Under DDL, we have create, drop, alter, truncate command. These are the main command that is widely used in any SQL series. You'll see these are the main command that you'll be using in the upcoming videos and upcoming series, right? Let's move ahead. And under DML, we have insert, update, and delete command. And in DQL, we have only three. And as I mentioned, we won't talk about DCL and TCL. And if it is necessary, we will be talking about in the upcoming videos, right? Let's move to our next slide. Okay. So what is data definition language in SQL? DDL is an acronym that stands for data definition language. So my question is, what is data definition language? And remember that an interviewer can also ask you that what is data definition language? So data definition language is nothing but it's the main command category that falls under SQL language, and it deals with the structure of the table. It deals with the structure of the table, right? Under DDL, we have, as you have seen in the previous slide, there is create and alter, truncate, and drop command, right? So let's talk about create first. What is create? In SQL, the create command is used to create various database objects such as table, indexes, views, procedures, functions, and more. More like trigger, right? So in this video, we will talk about only how to create database and table. As for the indexes, views, procedures, functions, and triggers, we will be talking about these things in our upcoming videos, right? So create का मतलब क्या हो? What do you mean by create? Create is simply when you want to create a database or a table, we will use create command. The next command is alter. In SQL, the alter command is used to make modification to existing database objects such as table, view, procedure. Alter का मतलब ये हुआ कि if you want to make some changes in the table, right? Suppose you want to make some changes in the structure of the table, right? Like you want to make some changes in the column name and data type. You want to add some value in the table, then you will be using alter command. So the next one is truncate, right? So in SQL, the truncate command is used to remove all rows from a table. What truncate will do? It will remove all the rows at a single time, right? अगर तुम्हारे पास कोई भी टेबल होगा जहाँ पे बहुत सारे रोज होंगे, ये सारे के सारे रो को एक ही साथ डिलीट कर देगा, मतलब हटा देगा। एक मतलब सारे के सारे रो हटा देगा, लेकिन कलम सारे रहेंगे। ठीक है। ट्रंकेट जब when truncate will work, it won't affect the structure of the table, right? It will affect all the data which is stored in the table. It will remove all those data, right? So the next command is drop command. In SQL, the drop command is used to delete or remove database objects such as table, indexes, views, procedure, functions, and trigger. Just don't worry about the indexes, views, procedure, functions, and trigger. We will be discussing about uh, these things in our upcoming videos. Right? Let's focus on table and database. We can use drop command to delete the entire table. When we will use drop command, it will it will completely delete the structure and the data of a table. As you know, this create, alter, truncate, drop. This all four command falls under data definition language, which deals with the structure of a table or database. So when this command functions, it will always affect the structure of a table. Right. So let's go to our SQL server and try to implement practically how to use create command, how to use alter command, how to use truncate command, and how to use drop command. Right? So let's move to our SQL server. So now we have opened our SQL server. So as I have mentioned you that we use create command to create database, to create table, to create indexes, to create views, to create procedure, and to create function also. Right? But as for today, we will talk about only how to create a database and how to create a table. Right? So let's see how to create a database. To create a database, we simply use a simple command that is create, let's zoom it first, create database, and lastly, you have to enter the name that you want to give your database. That is, that is I want to give the name that is test, test one. Right? And add a semicolon here and select all these query and execute here. As you can see, the commands completed successfully, right? And it has written the time below, like when the command got executed, right? So now, as you can see, we have successfully created a database that is test one. So to create a database, we simply use create database and the database name, right? So if you want to store any table, any data in a database, as we know, in relational database, we used to store data in tabular format, right? So we need to create a table. So how we can create a table? To create a table, we will use create table command. Before that, let's to use this database, right? Use the database name that is test one, right? Add a semicolon and execute it. It is successfully executed. Now we will see how to create a table, right? To create a table, right? Create table. Now you have to enter the table name. Suppose I want to create a table. Suppose I want to create an employee table. Just write employees. Now, after writing the table name, you have to mention all the column names and their data types. For that, we have to mention column names such as ID. It will be integer. And remember that whenever you are mentioning any column names, you have to mention the data type. It simply says that you are storing that particular data type in this particular column. And let's say first name, first name, sorry, first name, that will be varchar 10. And remember, guys, if you do not know data types, types of data types in SQL, then try to study by yourself. I won't be talking about data types. It's very simple. You have to search it by yourself so that you can learn something new. Because learning is not someone will just come and teach you something. You'll learn everything. You have to do it by yourself. You have to research it by yourself, right? So I'm giving you a task that you have to study different data types that are present in SQL. Okay, and why you use those data types and when will use those data types, right? You have to study these things by your own. And last mention last name, that is also varchar. Varchar 10, and now we will write the department. And for department, we have to mention also the data type. It will be also varchar. So, so before we proceed, let me clarify. INT stands for integer. Okay, and in SQL Server, we won't use any character number of character that we should have in integer because it will take indefinitely, right? And for the first name, we use varchar, and for the last name, we also use varchar, and also for departments, we also use varchar. So varchar stands for varying characters, right? In the first name, it will hold 10 number of characters. Okay, in the last name, it will hold 10 number of characters. In the department, it will hold 20 number of characters, right? So let's add a bracket here and add a semicolon, and let's execute this code. As you can see, we have successfully executed. Let's see how our table as for now looks like. Select star from employees. Those who don't know why you use apostrophe here, apostrophe stands for all. That means we're saying that select all from employees. इसका मतलब ये है कि एम्प्लॉय टेबल में जितने सारे वैल्यू हैं, जितने मतलब एम्प्लॉय टेबल ही हमें दे दे, एम्प्लॉय टेबल में जितने सारे जो कुछ भी हैं, हम सब कुछ हमें दिखा दें इधर. तो हम will run this. As you can see, we have in the below section, you can see we have ID, we have name, we have last name, we have department, right? So this is our structure, table structure. We didn't add any data into the table. So this is the column name only shown in this table. If we add the data, it will show the value, right? To add the data, we can use insert into command. Insert into. After insert into, you have to write the table name. Insert into, what is our table name? Employees, right? Employees. Insert into employees, then add a bracket, then mention all the columns without data types. Here we have ID, first name, and last name, and department, right? Department. Yeah, it is correct. So in the bracket, then enter, write values under value, then we can enter our data. Okay. So we can enter for ID, let's say 1, 2, 3. And for the first name, let's say Kiran. Let's write my name, Kiran, right? And for last name, let's write Nath. And for department, let's say data science. Uh, data data science, right? Now end the bracket, add a comma here, then enter second value. See, if you want to add multiple values, right, then you can add like this. Now I have added this, I have written this for one row, and you can add multiple row here, right? Like this only. 2, 3, 4, comma. Think of another name. Suppose Ravi. Ravi, and the last name is Kumar, right? And for the department, let's say it is, what department? HR department. So this is how you can add multiple, then add a semicolon here. And this is how you can add multiple values into your table. As, sorry, So I have written single E here, double S here. So we have made a mistake here. So now it should run. Yeah, it has successfully executed. Let's see how our table looks like now. So now you can see this is how our table looks like, right? So you can use this create command like this. You can so that you can create a database, you can create a table, right? So let's move to our next command that is alter. So why we use alter? To change the structure of the data, right? Suppose you want to change the data type of ID. Now we have the data type that is integer for ID column. We want to change it to the character, right? Let's see how we can do this. Alter table, and now mention the table name that is employees, right? Employees, then okay, alter column. Now after alter column, you have to write the column name, right? Which is ID. ID. Now write the word data type you want to give now. I want to give right, varchar 10. Let's run this code. Let's see how it works or not. As you can see, it successfully worked, right? It successfully got executed. Now let's see the data type of our all columns, right? To see the data types of our all column, you have to write the code, select data type, select data type. Okay. Select data type from information schema, information schema dot columns, right? Where table where table name is equal to employee, right? We have capital employees. Let's run this code and see what is our data type now. As you can see, for the integer also, we have where capital. It is not showing the column name here. Let's add column name also here. Let's run this. Let's see. Now you can see the ID. For the ID column, we changed our data type from integer to varchar, right? So this is how you can change the data type by using alter command, right? Suppose you want to add, let's change it back to our integer, right? Let's change it back. So it will create problem in the in the future. Int. Let's execute it. Okay. Let's see it has executed or not, changed or not. Let's see it is changed or not. Now you can see ID it has changed back to the integer. So now let's say you want to add a new column into the table. So how can we do that? Let's see how we can do that. Alter table employees, right? Then write add the column name here. What column name you want to add? Then you have to write the column name here. Then I want to add which is age. I have to add age and mention the data type also because in the create command section we seen that whenever we're trying to create a table and whenever we're mentioning a new column then we are also mentioning the data types. So we have to mention the data type also here, right? So mention the data type that is int, right? Add a semicolon. Let's execute this first. As you can see, the code has successfully executed. Now let's see how our code looks, how our table looks like now. Now we have add a new column here. because there are no value. So in the value field, we have null, right? To update those value field, you can use update command that is a part of DML, data manipulation language, right? If you try to impute value using insert command, then it will add the value after the null value, right? It won't fill the null value. So we won't do that. We will see how to impute value when we'll study about DML, right? So let's move and also remember that try to explore yourself like different way of using auto command. Try to read about it and go to YouTube and Google. Try to read about it. Right? It is time taking. It is time consuming if I do all this thing here. So let's move to our next command that is truncate. So what does truncate do? I said that truncate removes or deletes all the row from the table at the same time. Right? So let's see how we can use truncate. To truncate, we can use truncate table employees. Our code has successfully executed. Now you can see this is how you use truncate command. That is truncate, then mention table, then table name, right? So our truncate command has successfully executed. Let's see how our table looks like now. Here we have select star from employees that execute. Now you can see all the listed values that were listed by me previously. Now it has all deleted. Now you understood that what truncate command do. Let's move to our next command. That is drop. So now in the next previous slide, I told you that drop command simply used to delete the whole structure of the table, whole structure as well as the data that are stored in the table, right? So how we can use drop command here? To use drop command, simply write drop. We can also use drop command to delete the database. Remember that. So drop table, mention the table name that is employees, add a semicolon. Let's run this code. As you can see, our code has successfully executed. Let's see our table, how it looks like now. Select star. Actually, this is not star, this is apostrophe. Okay. I'm saying that star only because it sounds very funny for me. Select star from employees. Add a semicolon and let's execute this. It gave us an error. Why? What it is saying? It is saying invalid object name employee. That means we do not have a table named as employee. Because हमने क्या किया? हमने टेबल जो बनाया था एम्प्लॉइज नेम का वो हमने अभी ड्रॉप कमांड के सहायता से हम उसे डिलीट कर दिया है। ठीक है। तो इसी के वजह से वो हमें एरर दिया कि एम्प्लॉय नाम का कोई भी टेबल अभी एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता। ठीक है। So this is the end of this video. We will talk more about DML and DQL in the upcoming videos. Okay. So I hope this video was very insightful for you and very fruitful for you. And I hope you like this video. And if you learned something new in this video, please like this video and share this video with your friends and subscribe our YouTube channel.